I have started a Drupal installation that is completely empty. This is it just has it has no modules in it, so it's installed with Docker and DDEV, and it has no, like I said, it has no modules installed. When you install this module, it automatically will do some things. When you save config for the first time, it will create a folder in here called simple test, and then browser output for functional testing. This is where it saves HTML files that are a result of running a test. And you can link to these files to show that show the results of each test and how those are ran. And then it also, in core here, it goes down and it takes this phpunit.dist right here, and it will copy it and put a file phpunit.xml right above it here. And then it will fill in these variables for you. This is partly what my plugin does. It will fill in your base cell. It'll fill in your database URL string. It'll fill in your browser output directory and your browser output base URL. So, let's go over here to and let's follow the directions here on how to install. So the first thing you would do is you would install this Wikipedia merge, composer merge plugin. What this does is it allows a module to have a composer.json file, and then for you to tell this composer.json, tell your main root composer.json file where the composer.json file that you want to load is in your module, and then it will load all of the dependencies that you specify inside of this composer.json file when you run composer update in your root. So let's go ahead and install this. Let's spell composer right. I didn't spell. Okay. Didn't spell require right either. And it's just accept yes. Okay, then we will copy this. And we will put this in our composer.json file right here in the extras someplace. I just put it in here. And then if you're on a new Drupal site, like a Drupal 10, and you're using web for Composer, if you're using a Composer recommended or something like that installation, you'll have a web directory. If not, you can just put it in here like this. And if your modules is in the root of your directory or whether it's in your web directory, there's two different installations that have two different layouts. One layout has your modules in the root directory. The other one has your web as your root directory. So based upon that, you'll want to either include the web directory or not include the web directory. So once you have it done, then we'll save the composer.json file, and we'll then go ahead and install. I'm going to install a couple of plugins. Right now, if you go to this Drupal installation, there is everything's lined up in one line, and there's okay, no, this is the uninstall. If you go to the list, and all of the plugins are lined up in one line. The module filter lines them up by makes a submenu of each of these main links right here. This will be core, and then this will be core experimental, fields, types, migration. So it'll make a left-hand side menu here of all of those upper sections, and then on the right it'll have each of these listed out after it. So and then right now you can't traverse this menu very well, so the admin the the admin menu helps to create drop-down menus for this. And right now they need a maintainer too. So there is an error with this with the search bar that needs to be patched, and they don't have a maintainer. So if anybody's looking to maintain a module, there it is. So I'm gonna require all of these. I'm gonna be like composer. I gotta do DDEV first because we're using DDEV. Composer. Require Drupal. Now we're going to do the admin toolbar. Drupal module filter and Drupal Testsuite. So this will install all of these modules for us. Can I find a version of that? Okay. So if we do Testsuite, you gotta come down here and you gotta grab this 3.0 at beta. So let's do 3.0. Beta 1, sorry. That beta. Okay. All right, so let's just run these two first. Okay, so that will install those modules here in a contrib folder, and then we can go in here and just turn these on real fast. So we're gonna do admin, so we can easily. All right, and then let's copy this over here. That's easier. I'm doing something. Sometimes it's just easier to copy stuff. So get rid of these. All right, boom, there we go. Okay, so now that we got that in, we can then go ahead and we can run DDEV, and then we're going to want a composer update to install all the dependencies that are going to be required now with this Wikipedia merge plugin right here. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, these are all of the PHP unit and meaning all that stuff. PHP stand, PHP spec, all of that stuff comes all kind of loaded in together with this. So once we have that done, then we can go in here and turn on the plugin. So we would reload, go to the Testsuite directories, install all of these plugins. Then we want to go to configuration and Testsuite, and then PHP config, and you basically just want to save this as it's got unit and functional already selected. Drupal settings is the default settings on this, and what it will do is pull all of your host and database connection variables from your Drupal installation. It sets your simple test base URL, your browser output directory, your browser output URL, and it will then also create this right here. See how it watch 1 second. Go ahead and click Save Configuration. It says the PHP unit XML was updated, a directory was created, the browser output directory was created. If you don't see all of these green ones, then there is a problem, other than you have permission problems or something going on with your, and this works in XAMPP too. I've tried it in XAMPP and everything else, but now if you look here, we see a PHP unit.xml file, and we have your simple test bistro, your simple test DB, your browser output directory is now in here, and that has been created now in your site, simple test, browser output. All three of those now are created so that you can go ahead and start putting your functional tests in here too. And then so with all that done, now you're ready to run tests. You can just go over here to PHP unit, and you can start your your testing. We run any tests that are in there with any of these PHP unit directories. There are two parts. There's running the tests, and then there's filtering the log messages. So once you have tests here, you can go and okay, I'm going to install Chaos Testsuite so we can use the filtering a little bit. I mean, it's just filtering, but let's do a require Drupal C tools. Whoop, okay, composer. All right, so then we'll go over here and we'll turn that on. So that's going to be an other. Nope. Oh, Chaos right here. So we're going to install that. And then we'll go back to your test area, PHP unit. And now if we go inside of unit and contrib, there'll be ctools too, which has a lot of tests. So we can like select all of these tests and add them and run them all at once if we want. If we want to run the whole directory. So it would run all five of those tests, right? Now, if you want to filter for something, you can select all. We want to see Testsuite stuff. So then you can only see Testsuite. To reset your filter, you reset your filter there. And then when you need to delete, you can delete all the tests by running through there, and it will delete everything that's saved in the database. So every test gets saved in the database, so you can then look it over or keep tracks of it. But it is good that if you run a lot of tests that you delete that database, because it will get full. And then there's also PHP groups, which is basically just grouping your PHP ones so that you can like have multiple different tests from multiple different groups. So say like I create an office group of tests, and now there's and then I go to the to that link. There's two parts to this. There's add tests to groups, and then there's filter the messages in that group. But let's say I want to add like unit tests from Testsuite, and then I'm going to add that to the office, and I'm going to submit. So that added that one test to the office. Now I want to run also ctools with this one test group. So I'm going to go there, and I just want to run these three, and I'm going to add them to office. So now I have 5 different unit tools or 4 different unit tests from 2 different modules. And now I go to reports and back to PHP unit groups, or we started out here. And if I hit the test button, it will run all of those tests one after the other, so that you've ran all those together. And it works for functional tests too. You can run your functional tests. When you run your functional tests, it will create links in the your browser output directory. This is why we're creating this simple test in this browser output directory in Sites, because it needs a place to save these HTML files that are then references to each of the steps that you have ran in there. They don't have styling, which is one of the things I don't like about it, but I do plan in the future to create maybe some kind of like link that just walks through all of these links and shows you that it's past it, or I might try to style them, or I might try to just get into using You have to install a Java server and all that, but there's Selenium tests that are really nice too. So